Hey, all apologies for the background. I'm renovating my basement space. Uh, it's my workspace. It's my workshop. It's my workbench for watches, for radio, for soldering, for electronic work, and I'm in the process of putting my stereo down here. I've been moved out of the living room. The speakers got a little crazy. So today we're going to do a little review on the Ball Roadmaster Marine GMT and the Ball Roadmaster GMT Moonphase. These guys. I don't know if it's a review so much as a reflection on them. I've been reluctant to make this video because I'm reminded of, when I was a college freshman many years ago. One night, I'm hanging out with my freshman physics professor, and he says to me in a very serious tone, he looks right at me and he says, "Hey, do you know what the world doesn't need?" And I'm like, "What? What does it not need?" And he's like, "Another crappy physicist." So he dashed my dreams, and I pivoted, and I'm still trying to figure out what the world needs. But I feel that way about this video. I'm a little reluctant to put out just another crappy watch review or another crappy YouTube video, because we definitely don't need more of those. And that ultimately asks the question, is more or more, or is less more? And that kind of applies to these watches. This is the little guy, and this is the bigger guy. This has got more right here. This watch has got more. It's more of this, and so is more better. And more isn't always better. We know that. Politicians have spent careers proving that more is not always better. More laws don't make things better. More vitamin C gives you diarrhea. More free speech can lead to diarrhea of the mouth. And so I'll make this video as quick as I can and try to get as many points across. So into it. These are both my watches. I own both of them. I bought both of them. I am not in the watch industry. I don't have a store. I'm not trying to pitch something and convince you to come to my store because I'm an authorized dealer of Ball watches. I'm not. Nobody sent these watches to me. So I'm just some guy who enjoys working on watches, and I have my own workbench. This is my little scope here that I work on the inner workings of watches because I can't see them anymore without it. So this video is really just, I want to put it out there as a resource so people can make some decisions around these two watches, because there's virtually nothing out there. And the videos that are out there tend to be about this guy. And there are videos that kind of go over the specifications, and they do a couple of wrist shots, and they're amazing. And so they're not really a great resource for information. And God bless them for putting them out there. But I want to put something out there that puts it in a little bit more perspective. So where did this all come from? Well, about 6 months ago, I kind of just, I'm getting older, and I just don't have as much energy as I used to have to be dealing with stuff I just don't want to deal with on a daily basis. And so you get through this like fatigue decision or decision fatigue, I should say, around, I just don't want to think about stuff. And I found I was thinking way too much about watches, about what am I going to wear today, what fits. And I was feeling guilty because I wasn't wearing certain watches. And I decided this is just stupid. For me, if that's what you love doing, then if it brings you joy, then God bless you. It wasn't bringing me joy. It was bringing me anxiety. So I started unloading all my watches about 6 months ago. And and I'm a guy that's had watches, buying watches, collecting watches since like the late mid 80s. I don't know, mid 80s. And so pushing 40 years. And I've had everything. I've had Rolexes and Breitlings and Omegas and Seikos. I started with a Seiko dive watch. In fact, my son, he's right here. He's got his watch on. Here it is. Here's his dive watch that he's inheriting. It's a little big for him. A lot of wrist presence on that watch. Okay, off video. So I love watches. It's fun to see him wearing I started my watch with one of these. This is my first watch I ever bought. I'm rebuilding. I just found it, movements out of it. It's a Seiko dive watch. But I've been in this game for a long time, and so I kind of have a sense of what I like and don't like. And you're always searching for the perfect watch, and you come to realize there's no such thing as the perfect watch. But I did know I was getting tired of having a bunch of watches that I liked but didn't necessarily love, or just was kind of cycling through. I got to wear them because I own them. And so I started just unloading. And for a couple years, I've been wearing this one a lot. And I stopped wearing it because somehow the internet decided this was the coolest watch on the planet, and I'm not a joiner. And so suddenly wearing the coolest watch on the planet just irked me. And so I put it on the shelf until the excitement dies down a bit, and I'll start wearing it again. But as I started digging into watches that kind of held all the specs of things I wanted, there weren't a lot out there. And the watch that kept coming up was this guy. And I'll be honest, I didn't like it. I kept looking at it and thinking I just didn't like the look of it. I thought the dial was too busy. I didn't like the tritium tubes at 9, 12, and 6. And I didn't like the band. I didn't like the butterfly clasp. And those were deal breakers for me. And so I just ignored it and just kind of muddled along for a while until this one came up and I got an amazing deal on it used. And such a good deal that I was like, I can't pass it up because I can always sell it for what I paid for it or for even more. So I got this about three months ago, and I've been wearing it every day. And there's some stuff I absolutely love about it. There's some stuff I don't love about it. And then about 3 weeks ago, I came into possession of this guy. Again, I bought it, got a good deal on it. And I realized that the perfect watch for me exists somewhere in between these. But I guess the question is more or is less more? Well, let's start about what they have in common. That makes them both great. You know, they're great cases. Their casework is phenomenal. The finishing is great. There's no big gaps, or the bracelet fits in perfectly. They're just a great watch. The movement is great. They're COSC certified. They both keep phenomenal time right out of the box. They're just a super well-made watch. The bezel action, it's a 24-hour bezel. It clicks in, works great. I use them as diver, or I should say timer bezels all the time. Everything about them is great. They're both great. They're a great, well-made watch. You should consider buying them because they're a great watch, and a lot of people, including me, think that they're an amazing value for the money, especially on the used market. But you can buy new, too, from an authorized dealer. So they both get a great. They're just great watches. They're just different watches. And so let's start with the small guy, the little brother. What do I like about this one? I love the size of it. It's a great size. I think it's 40, but it feels like a 39. It just wears small. It's light. You forget you're wearing it. It's comfortable. It's just a great watch. What do I not like about it? I don't like the dial. I think the dial looks busy with the 6, 9, and 12. And I don't like the handset. I find the handset's really tough to read in bright sunlight because it's shiny metal. And at night I find, because the differential in size of the hands is so minimal, you can get confused about what time is it. Is it 4:20, or is it I should say, is it 3:15, or I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is you can get confused at the time because the hands are so close to each other. But it's a great watch. I love this watch, and I found myself putting it on every day. I put another watch on, wear it for like half an hour, and end up putting this one back on. So amazing watch. And then I got this one, and I've been wearing this one for about 3 weeks now. What do I love about this one? I like the handset. This one's incredibly legible. The hands are bigger. They're more legible both in the daytime and at nighttime. I can actually see the second hand on this one. The other one, it's invisible. I can't even see it. It's so thin and narrow. The GMT hand is easier to read on this one. This is just more legible. And even with the Moonphase complication, I feel like this dial is less busy than the other one. It just feels more balanced. What do I not like about it? It's heavier. It's a bigger watch. So more is more weight, more wrist presence, more, it's there. You know this is on your wrist a bit more. And honestly, if I could get this watch in this size, that would be money with these hands. So in the long run, what am I going to do? Which one am I going to keep? Because I'm only keeping one, because they can't both, I'm not going to switch back and forth. And so which one is going to be the winner? Well, the winner is going to be this one. I'm going to keep the Moonphase. And I'm going to keep the Moonphase because the legibility actually really matters. And I find that I do love the Moonphase on this. I actually find the dial looks more balanced. It's easier to read. And it's just got a higher gee-whiz factor. Like I look down on it, it makes me smile. It just feels like a better, like, I just like looking at it more. It feels better. Now, the two deal breakers for a lot of people are the tritium tubes and the butterfly clasp. Let me address those. I've never been a butterfly clasp fan. And in fact, I swapped out the butterfly clasp on the just basic model with a fold over aftermarket, nice fold over clasp with a micro adjust on it. I wore it that way for a couple days and I hated it. I actually preferred the butterfly. The butterfly, when you close it up, it's just really clean. It's really clean and tidy, and it's quite comfortable. And I'm able to get a size on this that I feel like it's tight enough to not flop around, but not so loose that I feel like it's going to slide off my arm. So I actually really love the butterfly clasp on this. Do I love that style of bracelet? For me personally, no, I don't. It's a little too fancy. I like a more toolish, but that's me. That's my personal taste. The tritium tubes. This is the one that I laugh about it because it's such a ridiculous deal breaker. Before I bought this thing, I was on some forums, and I have to admit I participated in those forums where people learned about tritium tubes, and they were like, no, that's a deal breaker. And I was like, yeah, it's a total deal breaker. That's stupid. Tritium tubes have a half-life, and the half-life is 12 years. So this is a 2026 model, so fast forward 12 years from now, the brightness of those tritium tubes is going to be half of what it is today. And then 12 years after that, it's going to be a quarter of what it is today. So, what do I love about the tritium tubes? Well, let me put it this way. If I'm still around 25 years from now and I'm complaining about my tritium tubes being not bright enough and I have to send it back to Ball to get them retubed and they don't even service this watch anymore because it's been 25 years, I'll take that. I'll take that as a cost of doing business, because the chances of me being around in 25 years with this on my wrist is pretty minimal. So I think that's just a silly argument. Now, for full disclosure, I have this watch right here, which I bought in 1987, I believe, and I don't know where the face is. The face is in great shape, and the lume is actually still pretty good on it. So I get it a little bit, for a watch that you're going to have for decades. I get it. But if you're buying a watch because it's going to be your daily tool watch, then the tritium is amazing. I love it. And I love it because whether it's 9 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning, you can read the thing. But it's also not so bright that you're getting thrown out of bed because your wife feels like you've got a small sun illuminated under the covers. And I've had some watches where the lume was so bright that it was like, man, it's keeping me awake at night. Tritium tubes, they just work. They're on all the time. And with this watch, because of legibility, you can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to stumble into the bathroom and you can still read what time it is and bemoan the fact that you've got to be up in 3 hours for work. So the two deal breakers for me, tritium tubes and the bracelet, actually turned out to be two of the things I love the most about the watch. So should you buy a Ball watch? I don't know. It's up to you. I'm a big fan of the watch brand. It's probably my new favorite band or a brand out there. I recommend it wholeheartedly, and I think this is a great watch. But so is this one. If you're looking for, a great watch, get either one of these. You can't go wrong on them. They're a fabulous watch. They look good. They keep great time. And I'll be honest, I've been wearing watches for 40 years, and I've gotten more compliments about these two watches in the past 3 months than I have with all my watches in the previous 40. And that goes to wearing watches that are way more expensive than this, multiples of more expense. So in the end, did we answer? The age-old question, is more or is more or less? I think it depends. For some of you, this is the wrong watch. It might be too big for you. I have a 7.25 inch wrist, and I think it wears great. But I can see where it would be maybe too big for some. There it is. That's what it looks like on the wrist. Or is less more? I think it totally depends upon your preference. But anyway, they're great watches. Either one you can't go wrong with. I'll take a picture of them both next to each other, and I'll put it at the end of the video. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. And if you think I'm an idiot for putting Cyclops on these, well, I'm sorry, but these little peepers don't see like they used to see, and I like to be able to actually tell what the day and the date is. But anyway, hope the video was helpful, and maybe at some point I'll do a video on the Longines, which is a great watch. I love it. But if you were to watch the average YouTube video on this right now, it's the single greatest watch ever manufactured in the world. It's not, but it's a great watch. And but there's some negatives I have about it. So anyway, have fun. Hope that helps, and see you next time.